The second video about digging deeper supporting sentences is going to use the things that we talked about in the last video and the things from our last worksheets, and we're going to put those things to work for us, okay? So the first thing that we need whenever we are going to write a sentence is we need the fact or the information about what we're writing a sentence about, okay? So if you notice up there, the first fact that we're going to write a sentence about here, or the fact that we're going to work on this paper, is going skiing, okay? So that's sort of the topic or the fact that we're going to make a sentence about. So our first sentence says, Pam went skiing. Okay, that is a complete sentence. The subject is Pam, and the verb is went, and went skiing is the verb, okay? So, I guess went skiing is the verb phrase. So basically we have a complete sentence here, but this sentence isn't a real exciting sentence. This sentence doesn't give us a lot of image, doesn't give us a lot of information, so we want to dig it deeper. We want to make it better, okay? So we need to think about the first two things on our last paper with the shovels, and the first thing was adjectives and the second thing was adverbs. So those are what we're going to add, okay? So when we add adjectives, we're going to be describing our noun. Our noun is Pam, okay? So when we look at this sentence, my athletic friend Pam, okay? Here we have three words that are describing Pam. We have my, athletic, and friend are all describing Pam. Okay, Pam is my friend, Pam is athletic. So those adjectives added to the beginning give us much more information about who Pam is. Okay, now we are also going to look here and notice that I changed the verb, okay? I wanted a more interesting verb, okay? My athletic friend Pam vacationed adventurously skiing, okay? She didn't just go, the first verb we used was went. So she didn't just go skiing. She didn't went skiing. She vacationed. So now we can see that that was a vacation for her. That was something she chose to do in her free time. And so she vacationed. And how did she do it? Adventurously. Okay, going skiing can be quite the adventure. So adventurously describes our new verb, our more interesting verb, vacationed. My athletic friend Pam vacationed adventurously skiing. So we added some adjectives and we added some adverbs, and it got much more interesting. Okay, now there were two other shovels on our last paper. Those were adding transition words and adding a prep phrase, okay? So down there at the bottom you can see, did you add a prep phrase, transition word? So let's see here how we can do that. Okay, also, my athletic friend Pam. So we're adding the word also. Now this may not be the first sentence in your paragraph, so you could use the word also. Depending upon the other structure of your paragraph will depend on what transition word you use. But the word also does make sense here. Also, my athletic Pam vacationed adventurously skiing. And now we're going to add a prep phrase to give us a little more information. If you remember, prep phrases give you more information, so it makes the picture more clear in your head, okay? And our prep phrase that we are adding is in the Rocky Mountains, okay? So now we know that Pam isn't just skiing on a tiny little ski slope in western Pennsylvania, where I ski. She is skiing in the Rocky Mountains, okay, which is probably much more adventurous than skiing in a small ski slope somewhere else. So we added the transition word also, and we added a prep phrase, in the Rocky Mountains. All right. And the last thing I have on here is more interesting verb. And if you get to the end and you haven't already, we changed the verb there when in the second step. But if you get to the end and you haven't changed that verb yet, we maybe could get to this end part and be like, also my athletic Pam went adventurously skiing in the Rocky Mountains. And then we would have thought, oh, what could we change went to? And we could change it to vacations. So sometimes you'll get to the end there and not have changed that verb yet, and you need to do that. So these are sort of the steps that you take when you're digging deeper sentences, okay? When you're trying to make them more vivid, more interesting. And when you finish a sentence, if you can close your eyes and really picture what's happening, then you've done it right, okay? So you probably have printed out a page like this. If not, go ahead and bring it up and print it out. And I want you to go ahead and do this page. You can just start at the top there and put your fact or your information that your sentence is going to be about. Write a brief sentence, then add adjectives and adverbs to your sentence and rewrite it. Then add your prep phrase and a possible transition word and rewrite it. And then make sure that you have an interesting verb there at the end as well. So I would like you to go ahead and do this page for homework. You can take a picture of it or scan it and post it to the classroom page where I can pull it up and look at it. So you can just attach it. If you have any questions or any trouble getting me your work, just let me know, and I'll look for these on the classroom page. If you need to email it to me, please just post on the classroom page that you emailed it that day so I can watch my email for it. All right, have a good week, and make sure that you are posting on the classroom page so that I can see when you're getting your work up there, and so that we can discuss and possibly post one of your good sentences onto our classroom page. Alrighty, have a good week, and I'll be looking for your responses on the classroom page.